Welcome back. In today's video, we will develop this mini calendar using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As you can see on the screen, we will be developing this mini calendar using the power of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And as you can see on the screen, I have already opened my Visual Studio Code, the code editor, and have already created three files: HTML file, CSS file and JavaScript file. In HTML file, I have already wrote the boilerplate code along with linking the style sheet and also calling the JavaScript file in this HTML file. Now let's start with the actual development of this project. So let's start, and I will create one div inside this section and will give the ID. We will require this ID to access this element. So in future in JavaScript file, I will use document.getElement by ID and pass the ID of this div so that I will be able to access this element, and then we will place all these date, month, year and day using a JavaScript. Also let me give some class so that I can style this container. Now let's go to style.css and first start with styling our body. So here I will give margin 0 pixel. Let me also show the output here. So here we are seeing the output. Let me add here one text so you will be able to see it. We give h1 tag here. It will be visible too. As you can see, the calendar is printed on the screen, so you will see the live changes of the code on the left hand side. So now we don't require it, but let it be here. Now I will give the background color. So background color, and I want the peach color. After that, I want to use the font family is cursive. So the font family is not available. Let me use some other font family which will be sans serif. Now you can see the visible changes on the screen. Let me now go to the container and style the container. First, let me set the width. I will set the width to 300 pixel. After that, let me set the height. Height of the container will be around 520 pixels. Now let me give some background color. Background color will be black, and I hope it will be visible to you in some time. As you can see, the container is already visible. Let me just center it. So for that, we will be using the concept of flexbox. So if you don't know what is flexbox, then you can learn about it from W3 school or what we say YouTube. So let me write the code to center this div display flex. After that, I will write justify content center, and I hope it make it center. Let me also write flex direction. Column, and to center the div we will require margin 0 pixel, and it will place the div on the center as you can see on the screen. Now in the actual output, we don't want this black color. As you can see, we don't want the black color. Also we want the background as gradient. So let me add one gradient here. So here I need to set the background color, not background color, background, and here we will use the linear gradient, and I want it from left side. And let me just copy the hex code for this gradient, and the moment I paste it here, it will be reflected. As you can see on the screen, your gradient background is reflected on the screen. Now we don't require this calendar text, so let me just remove it from the HTML file. Now as you can see, I think we are done with most of the. We have set margin, container width, height, background color. So now let's start with our JavaScript file, and here we will first create all the logic. So first of all, I will require I will need to access this div inside which I will place date, month, year, and day. So let me access it using JavaScript. So let me create one variable. Let container equals to document dot get element by ID, and I will pass the ID as you told before. I will pass the ID container here. So now I am accessing the container in which I want to place all the date, month, year, and day. Now let me create one variable for storing all the months along with days. So I will create two variables, one for month and one for day. Let me paste it here. So as you can see on screen, I have created two lists. One is the list of months and the second is the list of days. We will require it on the later part of this code. Now let me access the date. Const day date equals to new date, and this is how you will get the date. Let me just console log it in the let me print it. You will be able to see the date here. Let me check control shift type, and yep, as you can see on the console, the date is printed here. Now let's fetch all the component of this date. As you can see here, we'll require four variables. One is for this month, day, date, and year. So we will be requiring four variables. So first of all, let's start with creating first variable, which is date. So let date equals to today date, and we will use the method which is get date. This method will give us the date. So if I console log console.log date, you will see it on the screen. We go here and you can see the date is printed. Similarly, we will do this for month, year, and day. So let's first do it for year. Date year equals to day date, and we will use one method which is get full year, and again we will log it to the screen on the console log here, and as you can see on screen, it is now visible. The changes are reflected here on the log. We haven't written the code yet to display the values on the UI or in the browser. Now let me access month. Let month equals to today date dot get a month, and console dot log month. Now here is something fishy. As you can see here, we are getting 0. So it gives us the index. So if we go to this array and access this month of 0, then we will be able to get January. So here I will use our array, and we are already getting the index, so we will pass it into the index part. Now when I save it, you will see January is printed. Similarly, we will do it for day. Let day equals to days, and here day date dot date date. Let me log it on this console.log day. Now you can see Saturday is also printed. So this is the actual date on which I am recording this video. Now let's try to create elements, but before that let me close this console because we don't require it now. So this is our view. Let me go to this and change the background color because I don't want the black color in the final output. As you can see here, we are not using the black color. That's why I removed it. I just only added that black color to show you the output of this CSS styling. So now let's go to script.js and we will create our elements using JavaScript. So first of all, I will create a const month div. So I am creating a month div. Here I will use document dot create element and I will create one paragraph tag. So we have created one paragraph tag. Now, and inside this paragraph tag, I want to set the month. As you can see on the top, here we are first placing month, then day, then date, and then year. So first of all, let's place the month. So month div dot, and here we will use inner text, and we are setting the inner text of this paragraph tag to month. After that, let's add it to the DOM. So for adding this to the DOM, we will use container, which we are accessing on the top. We are already accessing this container, and we want to append this child in this container. So container dot append child, and we will pass the name of our variable, which is holding this, which is month div. Let me pass it here, month div. And as you can see, January is visible on the screen. Now let's do the styling. Once we do the styling, then we will also add the style part using. So let me first set one month div dot class name. We haven't created this class, but we will create it now. So I am creating one class month. We are setting the styling using JavaScript. We will write the code in style.css, but the name of the class which will be applied to this paragraph is applied using this JavaScript line number 42. So let me go to the container, the styles, and here in the style, and as we already know, to access the classes we use dot. So month, name of the class is month, and here I will do the styling. So first of all, I will make the font bold. So font, I will set the font weight equals to, all the changes will be reflected to you on the screen. Now I will set the font size, and here I think I require around 30 pixels, and here you can see the font size is increased. Now let me set the color. Here you can see we want the color to white and the background is red. So let me set first the color and then we will set the background white. Now let me set background color, which is red. As you can see on screen, now we want to move it to the center and also give some padding. As you can see in this output, here it is centered and there is some space behind besides it, around it. So there is some space around this text here on the top, right, bottom and left. So first of all, let's do it. So let me give some padding. So padding will create the space between this. So let me give 15 pixel. If I give 15 pixels, it will create similar space around it. So let me just increase let me just make it to the center. So for that, I will write here, I think 80. As you can see, now it is in the center. Now if we go to this part, here you can see the borders are rounded. Let's make it round. For that, we will use border top right radius. So we are setting the top right radius, which will be equals to 10 pixel. After that, let's set border top left radius. We will set it to again 10 pixel because we want it to be uniform. And margin from bottom, we don't want any margin, so I am setting it to 0 pixel exclusively, and we will align the text to center. As you can see, the changes are reflected here. So we are done with the first part, which is the month. Now let's start with day. So first of all, let's write the JavaScript code here. Now I will just copy this code because it will be very easy for me. Let me go, and now I will change all the, here we are pasting the day, so let me change it to day. We will be using the same. Here we will use day div, day div, day div. Now it is copied, but we will change the styling. First of all, let me change the text. We are storing day into the variable day, so I will use the day variable here. And also here I will use new class which will be equals to day. Now the class is removed because I have changed the class to day, and day class doesn't exist here, so no styling is applied. But now we will apply the styling. Again, let's start. First of all, I will use day here, and here I will write margin we don't want any margin, so I am exclusively setting it. Let's set the font size to around 20 pixels. As you can see, font is increased. Now we will set the background color. We want the white background. As you can see in this output, we want white background. Let's make it white. Now after setting, we have to give the color of the text. Here you can see the color is gray, so let's set the color. Color is gray. Now we will give the padding. Again, I think I require around same padding, 10 pixel from the top and bottom, and I will require around 80 pixels from left and right. Let me save it. You can see it is moved. Now let's align it to center. So margin bottom 0 pixel and text align center. The moment I save it, it will be centered. So now we are done with the second part, which is day. Now year and date are remaining. So again, we'll go to script.js and I will copy this 2 times, copy and paste it time, because we want the same code. The next part is date. I will create this variable as date div and copy and paste it here, here, and here, and let's make it date. Here also date. Now here I want year, so year div, year div, year div, the variable year, and the class year. We will create the class date and year. Now as you can see, the values are displayed on the screen. Now we only need to do the styling. That's the last part remaining from. So let's create it. First let's start with date, and here again we want the font to be bold and big. You can see it's bold and bold. Font weight bold. After that, font size around 80 pixels, so it will look big. As you can see, it is already looking big. Now let me set the margin top to 0 pixel because we don't want that much space around it. So 0 pixels. After that, let me set the background color to white. As you can see, after that I will give the color. Why the color is black, but I will still give it black color. Now again we will copy paste this. You can see it's good. I think now it's the time to add the starting of year. Let me just paste it. Let me write it. So again, we don't want margin. We'll use the padding. Margin top 0 pixels. Now let's set the font size, and I want 20 pixels for it. Now I will give the background color in white, and color of the font which is gray. Again, it's time to use the padding and everything. Let me just copy it. Similar, as you can see now. As you can see here, there are some border, and the border is rounded. Here you can see it is rounded, and here it is also rounded. So let's create it using a similar code. Now we will just change the top to bottom. So I will paste it here and make it bottom. Here also. Let's save it, and as you can see on screen, our final output is visible, and also I think the font doesn't look the same. Let me go on the top and change it to here, font family. I think now it looks same. So that's it in this video. This is how you will be able to design this UI using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And if you need to find the code of this project, then you can visit this URL, which I will paste into the comment box. As you can see, the name of the project is Mini Calendar. So that's it in this video. Please subscribe to my video, to my YouTube channel, and comment the topic which you want me to cover in the next videos. Thank you very much.